Welcome to MSA Weekly. I'm Bill Sammons with Kevin Short. Today we're going to start, I guess, a series throughout the year. We're going to meet some of your team and learn a few things.
Yep, that's the focus of this year. Is throughout the year. I mean, we'll do special events like we've done before, but the idea is for everybody to meet the staff here. Today you're going to be meeting Austin Carter. He's our the head of audio here, and he's going to talk about drums and miking a drum kit and drum mic placement and all kinds of stuff. So that's what you're in for.
So this is Austin, and usually you're behind the scenes. How long have you been with MSA?
I started working for Kevin in high school, maybe even a little before that, working like weekends, holidays, that kind of thing when I needed extra help. And then after college, full-time for about 12 years now.
And you are mostly out with the live production, is that what?
Yeah, almost exclusively live production. Back in the day, we kind of did it all, but now I sort of focus on live audio.
What are you going to teach us today?
We're just going to kind of go over my approach to sort of miking a drum kit, placement, mic choice, why I do what I do, that kind of thing.
So is miking a drum kit like one of the hardest things to do in a live production?
I wouldn't say it's difficult, but it is easy to do poorly.
Okay.
You know, like a lot of things in the production world. You know, it's once I kind of have my way. I've sort of perfected my way over the years, and I like what I like.
How many mics will you be using today?
On this standard 5-piece kit, we're going to do 10 microphones.
All right. Well, let's watch and learn.
So in live sound, there is a little bit of a standard in the order of the inputs, and that always typically starts with the kick drum. On this kick drum, we have a kick in mic and a kick out mic. Our kick in mic is sort of placed right in the center of the drum and is a Shure Beta 91. Our kick out mic that you can see here, that is an Earthworks DM6, and I'd like to just have the element just inside of the resonant head here on the kick drum. Moving on to the snare drum, channels 3 and 4 here. First we have snare top and Earthworks DM20, and then below that on our snare bottom we have an AKG 451 little pencil condenser. I really like using condenser on snare bottom because it's faster, and the bottom of the drum, that's where you get all the sound of the actual snares, more of the crack of the drums, whereas off the top we get more body of the drum and more of the lower frequencies. All right, moving on to channel 5, the hi-hat. You may notice this is my first maybe controversial choice. The hi-hat mic is underneath the cymbal. A lot of people like to mic the hi-hat sort of from this direction. My issue with that is on the other side of the cymbal is the snare drum, which is the loudest thing in this whole kit. So you end up getting more snare than you do actual hi-hat. When I mic it from below, I'm putting the rejection side of the microphone towards the snare drum and the address side towards the hi-hat. So I find that helps get more hat, less snare, and it's closer to where they're actually hitting the cymbals. All around better, I think, and less snare, which has always been an issue. All right, moving on to channels 6, 7, and 8. Those are our 3 toms. All the same microphone again, the Earthworks DM20 again, same as we used on the snare. Placed, right on the rim here, and then I like to make sure they're aimed towards the center of each drum. And a lot of people will mount them very, very close, right on the rim. In my experience, not a lot of good sound comes from the rim of the drum. It's all from the center, where it gets hit by the stick. So that's where I like to aim my microphones. And last but not least, we've got channels 9 and 10 here, our overheads. They're obviously picking up the cymbals, the rides, the crashes, and then also the entire kit. I kind of like to think of it as taking a picture of the drum kit. So wherever whatever I want to get with each overhead, I kind of pretend it's a camera. This one's obviously kind of getting this half, and that one the opposite half. A lot of people do things to just get cymbals out of the overheads. I kind of like to get a little bit of the whole kit in there, depending on the style of music especially. It's important to have kind of a more overhead drum sound versus a more rock and roll drum sound, but again, that's all just to taste. So we'll talk about that more when we actually take a listen next week.
Setting up, miking, getting the drums ready to go for a concert has to be one of the most intimidating things for somebody that doesn't do sound a lot, probably.
Sure.
Is that still for you after all these years, or no?
Honestly, I could knock out miking a drum kit in like 3 minutes, Yeah. So I've done it a lot. I have a lot of confidence in how I do it and what I do. So
virtually, we're venue to venue, the way you set it up is pretty much the same.
Sure, yeah. I want it to kind of be the same on my end. So the only difference that I'm hearing is the drummer and the drums.
Okay. All right, and I'm sure every drummer has an opinion on exactly that, right?
Yes, sir.
Since we have a drummer behind the camera
today.
He's
smiling back there, yeah.
Well, very good. Thank you, Austin.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. We'll see you next time on MSA Weekly.